The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 8th day of October, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Michaela Ian, Sherry Vanderpool, and Leanna Lambert, who will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Michaela has a new haircut, so I know she's doing well. How you doing, Sherry?
He's pretending like he noticed. He ain't noticed nothing, okay? Nothing.
As a man.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Well, you know. I'm doing well. Can't complain.
Yeah. How are you with your new trim, Kales?
Listen, I am in an excellent mood today. It is Friday. Yes, I am looking forward to the weekend of rejuvenation, rest, relaxing, all the words, right? Yeah. I mean, it's still hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's still hot.
You'll be able to put that sweater and boots on soon. Don't worry, it's coming.
I sure will.
Anyway, good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one to end the week as Managing Director at Belco, Nadir drops by to speak about their apprenticeship program. So this should be an exciting conversation, opportunities for Bermudians, and so do not go anywhere. The daily play is the feud. Number one answers only. And so I have a joke about the feud before we get into today's conversation. So Sherry was here on Monday. And I told Michaela on Wednesday or Tuesday, she was 0 for 2, 0 for 3, whatever. And Michaela's like, no, Sherry got it on Monday. We're in tandem. And I'm just like, you got it, sis. Like you
Listen, I'm 2 out of 4. And by the end of the day, by the end of the hour, it would be 3 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Just look, folks, as you can see, as long as she's over 50% for the week, that's
I mean, let's be real. Yesterday was 5 and 1. I'm just saying. Okay. 5 and 1.
It's just gonna claim
5 states yesterday. So I mean, I feel like if nothing else gives me redemption, that gives me redemption. I'm just saying. Like I cleaned up yesterday.
Yeah, got us together, Jamal.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess I'm not into the women empowering my sisters. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're not into it?
According
he is
to the
not
audience,
into me living my best life as an empowered woman.
I'm a hater. I'm not empowering Michaela. I should be excited as Jackie when it comes to Terry getting the answers on Good Day Bermuda, apparently.
Yes. Or as Phil.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
No, Phil weren't excited. Phil was so shocked his heart stopped.
Shocked.
His heart, it was a shock for Phil.
You know what it is? It's because I get them right so often. So he's happy when I get it wrong.
There you go, Michaela. It's not hate.
That's what it is, you know.
It's not happy. I'm not happy.
It's still hate.
I'm shocked that she gets it wrong. I'm shocked. But today, it's fun today, so I think we'll have some fun. But today, we've got a conversation before we bring our guest on, and Leanna basically gave us 10 minutes, folks. So you know how I am. Leanna's only giving us 10 minutes to talk this morning, folks, before we go to news break. So we got to be fast with our comments. But basically, as Sherry said, our brother Bobby Sumner, he's told the OBA what to do. He told him.
What did he say? I missed it.
Don't say nothing.
Tim, talk about it.
Just get over
Yeah,
here,
that was
basically, and
it.
shut up. Don't
That's
do
what he said.
basically, and it's, I think everyone says this. Like Mr. Marshall from Meetings Against the Draft, Larry Marshall Sr. has said pretty much since 2017, the OBA would do well to sit on the sidelines and let this self-implode, whatever it is, right?
But I mean,
Sometimes
they have to opposition.
at the right time, but there are
True.
times when they literally don't have to say anything.
Agree.
Right?
Mhm.
So OBA opposition MP, Mr. Scott Pierman.
No relation. No relation.
Not your cousin. Okay. Not your cousin.
No.
He says,
You sure, Michaela?
you know what
I'm
I mean?
sure. I'm
The way
real
they do
sure.
Hey, look, Sherry, the way they threw last names around back in the day, I don't know now.
No, this is it.
I mean, that's another conversation.
The headline on the Royal Gazette basically says, OBA says frontline workers should be ordered to get coronavirus vaccine. Okay.
It's ordered for me. It's ordered.
Is that what he said, or is that the headline?
That's the headline.
Because it doesn't sound. I don't think anyone would say ordered. That word is just a bit funky.
Headline. So in the story, folks, it says frontline professionals should be forced to get vaccinated against the coronavirus, the opposition said yesterday. Scott Pierman, the acting leader of the, they don't have much choice, but acting leader of the One Bermuda Alliance, said that the government's campaign was not working and appealed to tougher measures to boost vaccination numbers. So let's just put the question before you two jump in and jump at me and tell me I'm wrong without saying anything yet. Here's the question of the day. Should frontline workers be ordered to get vaccinated? Do you believe it should be mandatory for frontline workers to get vaccinated? Who wants to go first?
Sherry can go because I need to bring something up real quick.
Okay.
Ordered, force, made to do any of those words is just wrong. How are you going to order, force, and make anybody to do anything? Yes, vaccination is important. Vaccination is what we need, but it's a thing called human rights at the same token. And although, yes, it should be something that you will want the workers to do to, again, shield themselves and shield the patients and all of those great things. But it's a human rights decision and a question. Like, you can't order or force anybody to do anything, sir.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh, go ahead, Kale.
Wow, I don't think it should be ordered.
There are many companies now who have put in vaccine mandates. So currently the BHB's 1,800 staff, only 62% are immunized. That's a little scary considering you're dealing with COVID patients on a daily basis and people dying. So that's the Bermuda percentage. Now, I did a little bit of research last night, and in the UK, at the beginning of the month, they started a consultation process to see if vaccines needed to be mandatory for frontline healthcare and care staff. So staff, as a result of the consultation, once they come up to their findings, staff may be required to have the vaccine in order to protect patients from infection. And it could be a condition of deployment for frontline workers. So far in the UK, this was as of September 9, 92% of NHS staff have had their first dose and 88% have had both doses. So it's not crazy. In Texas, I can't remember what the hospital chain is, but there's a large private hospital company, and they fired employees for refusing to get vaccinated. And it was like 300 and something employees. And those 300 and something employees came together and tried to sue the hospital. And their lawsuit was shut out because the judge ruled, this is your employer, it's a private company, and you work in healthcare. The whole point of being vaccinated is to protect patients against getting COVID-19 and from you getting it from the patients as well. So kind of comes with the territory.
Ordered force, I think at the same token, you understand what the risk you are in, and I don't know if you can order somebody to do it. Now, is there any education behind what it is that everyone's refusing to do. What is the programs or what is the conversation that these employers are having instead of like, this is what you need to do?
I mean, it's a condition of it's a condition of employment. It's a condition of employment.
Well, you know what? Before I answer, I'm doing a lot of observing, listening, and I think we should go to the audience, share some things in the audience, and then Nicole Walker, Carla John, and Karen Simmons, Michaela.
No one should be forced to get anything. Yes, it should be mandated with an option to be tested regularly or work from home if possible. Ordered mandatory force are strong words, but you can't do that to anyone who has their own choice to make. Yes, you can. This is the thing, you can.
Nachika through Rick Olson, Sherry.
Be encouraged is a better choice of words. Personal choice, but look out for the consequences either way. And Rick Olson, one company is making all
vaccinations.
Vaccinations.
All right. So I want to, for me.
Remember, we got on the same shirt, Jamal. I'm just saying.
On the same team for once. Honestly, I feel like Carla John probably said it best for me. That was along the lines of my thinking when she said, yes, it should be mandated with an option to be tested regularly or work from home if possible. I personally, I am vaccinated, but I have an issue with an employer asking me to prove it. I do. Does that mean that they're wrong? No, because they believe they're doing it to protect the rest of their staff and their business. I think with the hospital, we're talking about professionals that last year we were celebrating for keeping people safe. These are people who have a lot more knowledge than us who are developing opinions about them and their stance. They probably have worked with different medications and they probably have extremely valid reasons as to why they're hesitant to take it. However, as Michaela said, I'm not quite sure this is a time where we can take that risk. It's one of those things where I feel like whichever side the argument you're on, there's no right answer. It's really what you want to believe is the best way forward. And I hate taking a neutral stance. That's just not who I am. I would say this, if your job, and I stand by this, if your employer is forcing you to do something you don't want to do, leave. That's it. If you're in the medical field and they are ordering you or making mandatory something that you don't want to do, leave. I don't know how to say it any other way. Again, it has nothing to do with me agreeing with it. It has everything to do with you not, honestly, you don't see eye to eye with it. You're right here, and this is a serious issue. So that's where I stand on it. Honestly, like, again, not all rules are good. Not all laws are good. So, if you agree with a law, then by all means. But if you disagree with the law or the rule, then there's another choice. That's how do I agree with the language? No, I think Nachika Trotta's right. And saying the language is important, the choice of words.
I feel like we've been saying encouraged all this time and it's not doing anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's like, at what point
because it's a choice.
This is a condition? Well, I'll just say this. The way that I understand it, there are nursing shortages all around the world. So if you have people who are on the front line helping people and they're getting sick, they're not able to work, people are having to work double shifts because people refuse to get vaccinated, the hospitals have to do something. It's not like you can magically round up all these staff. It's just not how it works. And I want to say in Antigua, I might be getting the island wrong, but I hope I'm not. In Antigua, they were rolling out mandatory vaccines as well for government employees and so forth. And it was kind of like, if you don't get the vaccine and you can work from home, fine. If you cannot, then your employment will need to be considered.
Yeah.
And so, but it still leaves the question for me, like in the sense of, and like Jamal, I'm vaccinated as well. But it's how do you get it? It's the encouragement, the language, the conversation. How do you get people on board before it's too late? And that's to me the missing part. Instead of, oh, you need to get vaccinated, you got to be vaccinated, it's mandatory. What is the conversations are we having with people who are on the fence?
Yeah,
I mean, what is BHB doing about that?
Let's go back to the comments because we have some BHB information. Sherry, Rick Olson.
One locally hospitality company is making all non-vaccinated workers to be tested weekly and giving all vaccinated employees a $200 gift certificate monthly, which is an interesting approach. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Rachel Dill says, yes, you can mandate vaccines. She goes on to say, BHB believes Bermuda Hospital's board workers already mandated to show proof of vaccination for other diseases. Monica Dunstan-Kills.
If they work in healthcare and therefore close to the situation and the vaccine is safe and proven to work, then the real question is, why aren't they getting it? Just playing devil's advocate. That's kind of how I feel. I mean, you also have to remember there are also a lot of people who work in the hospital who are not healthcare professionals. So maybe they are not as educated about how the vaccine works because they're not actually dealing with patients or, you know what I mean? There are a lot of people who just aren't in that space who work there too.
Thank you for saying that, because I definitely wanted to clarify that not everyone who works at a hospital is a medical expert, folks. So thank you for that, kid.
Yeah.
That's the K. Harvey says, personal choice. It does not stop them from catching or passing it on. I am vaccinated. I get that. There are people who have still passed from the vaccine. And I think, I don't want Michaela to get agitated this morning because I think you all are going to do that to her. But she said on this show over and over and over. And if anything, take this from what she says. You don't have to listen to nothing else she says, but this. Folks, the argument that she's made time and time again is it reduces the chances of hospitalization and death. She never said you can't catch it or pass it on. That's what she said. And so, did I save your agitation, Kim?
No, I'm not agitated. It's just, no, I know. I just get frustrated because I feel like the majority of the people who are like, oh, I'm not getting vaccinated, blah, 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 no vaccine, and then completely miseducated on how a vaccine actually works. You're not talking to your doctor. You're not sitting down having a meeting with your doctor and asking your doctor these questions. You're not.
Can I say something? This is totally off topic. But folks, men with vasectomies have still conceived children, I'm just saying, like, I use that example to say it's like, the argument that people can still catch it, and I see quite a few comments in here, people can still catch it or die. I don't think that's I don't think that's it, folks. And I think we just need to be adults and have the conversation like adults. I don't think that's not where we're at. It's about
and the whole thing is that they are talking to their doctors, Michaela, but they're talking to doctors that align with their own beliefs.
Right. So it's probably not their main. They're finding a doctor who's a doctor. I shouldn't say this because they are a doctor. I didn't mean that. But a doctor who's like, yeah, you can use an onion bath and you'll be fine.
Right.
No, like, come on.
Let's go through these last two comments before we bring Liana in because we're gonna get in trouble. Mishka, Sherry, and then Nikki Michelle Kills.
For BHB, it's important to note that disparity in vaccination rates by department. Note the disparity in vaccination by department.
I agree with Sherry. I don't think Bermuda government has ever truly had genuine conversations to understand why the vaccine hesitancy is so high in the Black population specifically. I agree. And they just come across as very do as I say, which is unfortunate. But yeah.
I want to wrap it up by saying this before we bring Liana in. I think, I always say I have a lot of questions about the vaccine. I have a lot of questions about the whole situation. And I feel like, we speak about journalism. I do drive. I have a long commute to work, right? 40 miles every day. And the things that I turn the radio down and I just go through my thoughts. And all week, I've just simply been asking myself, has not one journalist asked, how much Pfizer is making off of all of this? Those questions, stuff like that, do make me consider why people are hesitant and so on. Now, I'm not saying it's an excuse not to get it, but that's the way my mind thinks, right? There are a lot of questions and valid questions that people have for this, folks. And I just want us to be a bit more, and I'm just going to say mature in how we take these conversations. Don't shut down the other side. I remember sitting with Eugene Dean. Folks, I'm literally trying to understand people. Understanding doesn't mean agree with people, but I legit want to understand. But it's hard to understand folks who only want to believe what they want to believe because they believe what they do. Let's bring Leanna in.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, you want to get right to the news?
All right. No, this is a very interesting topic. And, I'm definitely listening to all the comments, the perspectives, and yeah, this is a hot one. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll be late.
Okay. Sorry, folks.
It's okay.
Your name's in the way. Can we see what your shirt says, please? Oh, okay.
Girl power.
So
yeah.
I guess I'll wear a boy power shirt on Monday. Boy power.
No, it's not a thing.
It doesn't have to ring. It's like, just don't do it.
And I feel like you need a cape, and that's not cute.
Yeah, that's not okay. All right. Whatever.
A cape? Okay. We're talking Halloween already? Okay.
Yes, we are.
Anyway, Lee, over to you, sister, and we'll be back. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have Managing Director at Belco, Nadir Wade, coming up, talking about the Belco Apprenticeship. So as much as you were into that conversation this morning about the forced vaccine, we need you in this conversation as well. We need Bermudians, young Bermudians, getting in at the, what would you call it? The utilities, Bermuda's only utility center. Yeah, we need Bermudians operating that, folks. So tune in. Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal, Michaela, and Sherry. TGIF to everyone that's tuned in with us this morning. I hope everyone is having a great start to their day. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. So in today's top stories, 11 primary and preschools have been cleared to reopen in-person learning after having reached the 80% saliva screening consent threshold recovered by the government. Now, the schools that were tested on Monday included Lagoon Park, Southampton Pre and St. Paul's Preschool, while Gilbert Institute, West Pembroke Primary, and Port Royal Primary School were tested on Tuesday. And as of Tuesday, East End Primary School, Purvis Primary, Victor Scott Preschool, and Prospect Primary and Success Academy reached 80% consent, and testing will commence today. Now, according to Premier David Burt, 33% of the public school population could return to class as soon as today. Once a school reaches over 80% consent, testing is arranged. The results and data received from the test will determine when a school can return to in-classroom learning. In other news, a police investigation has been launched after a car was found in the sea with its engine still running yesterday. A member of the public reported spotting the car on the shoreline near Duckingstool Park in Pembroke at about 7 a.m. Now, the hatchback was nose down in the water with no one inside, although the engine was still running. The vehicle was later removed. A search on water and land at the scene did not turn up anyone injured. Now, the spokesperson said that it had been no reports of anyone attending hospital for treatment as a result of the incident. Police said that anyone with information or who was in the Black Watch Pass area between 6:30 and 6:50 a.m. yesterday are to call police on 211 or the main police telephone number on 295-0011. Meanwhile, the government is warning the public about a fake email that was asked or that has asked people to validate their COVID-19 status. A spokesperson said that the email, which was being spread on social media, was designed to appear as if it had come from the Ministry of Health. But they said that this is not a Government of Bermuda message. The link in the message should not be clicked on and the email should not be forwarded. If a member of the public receives the email, they should delete it immediately. And sport will soon move into stage 3 of the return to play guidance, with Premier David Burt announcing that football is set to begin its season on the weekend of October 23rd. Now, the recent spike in COVID cases forced the start of the season to be delayed in early September, with the Charity Cup and Dudley Eve Trophy canceled for the season. When football does return in 2 weeks' time, it will mark almost 11 months since competitive matches were last played in Bermuda after the 2020-21 season ended on December 6th last year. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 81 and a low near 72 degrees. It will be a dry start to the morning, but we can expect a bit of cloud cover with a couple of passing showers this afternoon. A northwesterly breeze will shift easterly towards Saturday, while the island is generally shower-free. Now, deepening low pressure to the west will bring a return to showers and a stiffening breeze on Sunday and Monday. That's all for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. But before we go, here's a little helpful tip from your favorite community pharmacist to get you through the weekend. When using an inhaler, you should test the device up against your hand for the first few pumps to make sure you feel the drug spraying out. Now, always discuss best practices for getting the most out of your dosage with your trusted People's Pharmacist. Now, let's head back to Jamal, Michaela, and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Thanks so much for that, Lee. So real quickly, there was a car that went swimming yesterday.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was right over by Ducking Stool Park and literally nosedived. Like the airbag.
I didn't know the engine was running.
Yeah, engine still running. The airbags had deployed and no one inside.
Well, I hope the person's okay.
What?
Yeah. So, and that's at 7 a.m. in the morning. So,
that's right.
Hopefully everybody's okay. That's crazy. And the thing is, I saw it, like, I don't get to click on every video that comes through because sometimes in group chats they just don't appeal to me or they don't apply to me. But I did see on Twitter, and I figured what it was, and I was just like, I hope whoever was in that car is okay. Like, that was my only thought. And then I'm thinking, what? The car was running. Like, what? Yeah. Anyway, hope everyone's cool. Lee, enjoy your weekend. Girl power. Yeah.
Girl power.
So rude.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I was going along with it. Whatever.
Love you all. See you, Lee. Have a good one.
See you guys later.
Bye, Lee.
All right, folks, we have another word from Belco coming up. Do not go anywhere. And don't forget, a bit later, we're going to do a giveaway today. It's Friday, so we're going to do a giveaway. And also, we're going to stump these two. I'm going on like Jacon Edmonds today. Wicket keeper back there. Stump them out. I'm having too much.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no? Okay.
Whatever.
We'll be right back.
No.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
Calling all young people passionate about our environment. Registration for the island's first Youth Climate Summit is now open. This event, taking place in November, is open to students ages 13 to 22, allows students to hear from and directly speak with local and global experts, leaders and activists in the fields of environmental conservation, sustainability, and climate justice. Your ideas and contribution are vital to bringing meaningful change. To secure your space, visit ycsbda.com.
All right, welcome back to the Big Show. Michaela and Sherry Vanderpool, myself, Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, we have a conversation going on today with the Managing Director of Belco, Mr. Nadir. Let's welcome him to the show. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Jamal, Michaela, and Sherry. How are you guys?
Hey,
I'm all right.
we're good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Real quickly, I saw a comment. Are you, by any chance, a Somerset fan when it comes to cot match?
Definitely a Somerset fan. Huge Somerset fan. Yep.
That's a problem, but okay.
Born and bred in Somerset. Yep.
Yeah, because the person was aiming to comment at Michaela and said, why does
Mm.
Michaela not have her St. George's representing? I'm like, I'm trying to understand, but apparently it's a big Somerset person in the house today. So we just want to get that out the way.
Well, we know how that went, right? So,
wow.
Nothing
Yes,
to say there.
welcome, Nadir, and welcome.
Sorry, Michaela. I know she can come after me after.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say.
I need to have you ready. That's all I got to say.
It's all right. I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Sherry.
Well, I see how this conversation is going to be, but Chaos, it's okay. It's okay. But,
all right, we could be nice. It's fine.
Thanks for doing this. Honestly, we appreciate having you and you all trusting our platform. But just speak to us a bit. What is the Belco Apprenticeship and how did it come about?
Yeah, so the Belco Apprenticeship has been in existence for over 30 years. It's very much been the staple of the company. We've had a number of persons come in at the ground level, very much the technician level, and make their way through the company through assessments. Essentially, it's a 4-year apprenticeship program, which is very much targeted to training and development. That training and development is both overseas as well as on-the-job training, which means persons get paid as they learn, which is a great opportunity.
Awesome. So how important are apprenticeships programs for a company like Belco?
Apprenticeships are extremely important, not just for Belco, but for utility and other companies, trades companies in general. Our employees very much come in at the ground level. Sometimes they have experience, sometimes not. But we very much train them, develop them to essentially provide the service that's required, which is safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity. So extremely important. The fact that it's important to Bermuda and to Bermudians. We are very proudly a Bermudian company. And we very much want to have Bermudians at the forefront, maintaining and providing electricity securely to our customers.
Absolutely. So we know that Belco had an apprenticeship program before. So what has been redesigned and what's new with this one?
Great question. Yeah, so the apprenticeship in itself is still has the same framework that it's always had. But what's new and exciting about it is the way that we're going about it. One, we're being very loud and in public about it. We want to make sure that people understand the opportunities, have the opportunities. Sometimes we've gotten information to say that, oh, I missed it, or if I had realized, I would have applied. I could have worked at Belco, that type of conversation. And we very much want to put it out to the community. As far as the redesign, myself and my team, which is made up of our HR team, Sean Roberts and Cleta Ferbert and Lakeitha Cunningham, who are not on the show today, our team sat together and really took a deep dive using some Bermudian experts in our community to take a deep dive and look at our assessments, our written assessments, our hands-on assessments, how we vet and recruit and try to bring the best and the brightest. And I'll explain a little bit what I mean about that. But very much we've redesigned our tests to be multiple choice questions, short answer questions, as well as some long answer questions. And we very much brought back our hands-on experience. What's important to note is that we also plan on having a new vetting process, or part of our vetting process, which is a week-long boot camp. And that's going to be exciting for us to deploy and to see how the recruits respond to that.
Wow. And you said that the apprenticeship program is 4 years long. How is that broken down?
Yeah, so what happens is the apprentices would come into the company over a period between 8 to 12 months. They'll get familiar with the company, where they'll do some element of rotations throughout the company or throughout their designated departments, getting an idea of what we do in the company, understanding our policies, understanding our safety culture, what does it mean, understanding that this is a hazardous environment. We deal with electricity and heavy mechanical equipment. And then after there's 8 to 12 months, they then go off to designated schools overseas, which could be in the US, Canada, or the UK, depending on their field of or area of expertise. And they stay there for a year, intermittently, maybe 2 to 3 months at a time, going to school, getting theoretical and hands-on information pertaining to their specific area. And then they come back to us for another 2 to 3 years. That makes up the 4-year program, where they then do what we call job cards, which is really a fancy way of saying on-the-job training.
Mm. Well, that's good. And when you talk about students and the program itself, we here are a balanced group of people. And so when we talk about that, how important is it also to be open to women and females in the program, as well? As I understand, it's a male-dominant field. What about us, girl power?
Yeah, I just saw Liana's girl power, and that's something I'm actually personally passionate about. We very much want to see more young ladies, more women to join the technical realm. That's something that we want to be open about. We don't have enough women applying, or young ladies applying, and I'm here to say that it's an exciting career for men and for women, and we very much pride ourselves in trying to achieve more diversity in that. We have usually we have women that are very much at the engineering level, maybe in 1s and 2s. But then even at the apprenticeship level is very much in 1s and 2s, and we would like to really see an increase in that number. It's a very, I'll say, stable career. Nothing is guaranteed, but it's a very stable career, and it's a frontline service, and it's needed, and it's very rewarding and challenging. So I definitely encourage young ladies to look at the program, see themselves in it. We have had some success in the past, but we very much need more young ladies to get involved and be a part of what's going on here at Belco at the apprenticeship level and the technical level, notwithstanding that it is very much a male-dominated environment.
Awesome. When is the deadline to apply?
Yep. So the applications are open now. So please go on, apply. And the application closes October 18th. So 10 more days. And then the application will close, and we'll be going through our recruitment process and our vetting processes.
Awesome. And if it closes on the 18th, when is the next program available?
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. We very much we have some elements of a rotating apprenticeship, but it's very much on a business need basis. It just so happens that, as I mentioned the other day in our press release, we have an aging workforce just across many industries, not just in Bermuda. We're seeing that, and we know that it takes 4 years to develop what we call a graded employee, which is a person that essentially can work on their own, make it through the program. So I can't say that we're going to go through another big recruitment like this in the recent future, but it's all based off of business needs. So I definitely encourage people to take advantage of the opportunity now, make their voices heard now, but we're always a company that's open and looking for Bermudian talent. So we've always got our eyes and ears open for those that want to be a part of this industry, but it's very much a business need situation.
Yeah, I can understand you having an aging workforce. We have people like Mr. Famous here, a lifelong career at Belco for all. He's kind of up there in age himself, so I get it.
I won't speak to that one, but yes.
He makes a great point. He says Belco is actually more of a family than a job. And when you said that, I know many people who have been at Belco for a long time. Like, it's a place you go and you stay a long time. So that is definitely something that I think many young people can benefit from. Nachika Trot has a question. She's asking, are there any minimum requirements to apply? I'm not sure if you mentioned that already.
Yep, definitely minimum requirements. Persons have to be Bermudian or spouse of Bermudian. We're looking for people that have a safety conscious mentality, that very much have good work ethic, know that this industry is for them. They have to go on and fill out the application process, which is, a resume. There's no experience required. But there is electrical and mechanical awareness and experience that is appreciated. So very much, I'll steer people to belco.bm. If you go on the website, front and center, as soon as you go on the page, apprenticeship program is there. It says learn more. Click on that link, and when you hit the apply now button, that's when it gives you all the requirements as well as the application process. So very much encourage people to go to belco.bm, front and center apprenticeship program. You can't miss it.
All right. If you have any questions or comments for Mr. Wade, please send them through. We'd like to engage you as well with our guests. I guess, I often see, and I'm sure many of you see as well, many young Bermudians talking about the lack of opportunities in Bermuda for jobs and growth and so on. What is different about this program that you believe can encourage people to feel and think differently about that? Because to me, this conversation excites me because I see so many people talking about the lack of opportunities for Bermudians.
Yeah, I think this is one thing that this is a big opportunity. We do hear that as well, and we really want to encourage people to grab the opportunity. We can't say that opportunities like this come by every day, in terms of the broad and the breadth of personnel that we're looking for. But opportunity is out there. I just think it's important for persons, and this is where we have a responsibility to understand what the requirements are and how to prepare themselves a little bit earlier in order to be able to step into these areas. And that's something that you'll see Belco doing a lot more of in the future, is being a signal for the community and for the industry to say, hey, this is what the industry needs. This is what is going to be required in the next 3 to 5 years. Hey, prepare yourself. You're in high school, middle school right now, and opportunity will be there, granted that you take these steps. So that's important, but we know that there's no luck where preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, indeed. One of the concerns I've had in some of my guys' chat groups is Belco is the only utilities company in Bermuda. Would that be correct?
No, there are other utilities. It's the only electricity provider in terms of centralized electricity, but utilities that have apprenticeships as well as Digicel and other companies. So when you talk about utilities, you're talking about the telecom companies. The government has, for example, they have a plant like Tynes Bay, and then you have Belco on the electricity side of things. And then now you're starting to see, the solar as well. So technical, I think we're coming back around full circle in terms of technical industry requirements and technical education and that whole conversation. And, Belco intends on being a leader in the space. Because we know what we need in terms of Bermudian workforce, and we pride ourselves on that. And we're going to go out there and seek the best and the brightest. But because of the nature of the industry, we have to be very particular on persons that we select. And we also have to give people the best chance of success, but also have to show them that, there has to be some skin in the game for them as well.
Indeed. We have a question, Barbie Painter. What is the age limit, as I hear you talk about the high school students?
Yep. So there is if on the website, it says 18 to 25 preferred. So there's not an age limit, but there's a preference. And the reason for that preference is because in this industry, as you mentioned, Jamal, there is some element of longevity, and the company, us as a company, we get benefit out of that. But also the time that it takes persons to understand their craft and make it to from an apprentice level to a specialized person in their own right. That takes time, and that can take as short as 10 years, as long as 15 years, depending on the person and their aptitude and their hunger. So it very much is one where there isn't an age limit, but there is an age preference of 18 to 25. And that's because we know it takes time for persons to develop. A 4-year apprenticeship doesn't make you an apprentice. It actually just starts you off, to be honest.
Indeed. And Nachika Trot has another question. Once an apprenticeship program is completed, what types of career growth and opportunities are available at Belco?
Yeah, interesting one, right? Career opportunities and growth. Belco has a lot of different departments, a lot of different avenues for growth. We have, for example, I came into the company as an engineer, and now I'm a managing director on the management side of things. But we have apprentices like Dennis Pimentel and others, significant amount of others who came in at the apprenticeship level over 30 years ago, and they migrated through the company through training and development. Some went off and did their own training and development in an engineering space and progressed. But there's very much a progressed, stepped process where persons go from what we call an apprentice to the next level, which is a grade 1 level, to the next level, grade 2, and then finally a specialist. But even beyond those areas, there's always areas of growth for persons that are good managing people, that can be foremen, supervisors, and then persons that very much progress to the level of managers, because they have some level of understanding of the entire or a good portion of the business, which is important. So it's a place where you can come and grow, but you very much have to be able to take the opportunities. But it does take some time, but more importantly, it takes an aptitude and a want to learn, and to grab opportunities and to also meet the challenges of rigorous assessments along the way.
I mean, to wrap it up, you pretty much said it's up to the individual how successful that they're going to be. And folks, I mean, that's how the world works. I mean, we can't, nothing's going to come easy or be given. You've got to go out there and grab it. We have Terry K who says IT is the greatest department, but I'm biased, so
Yep.
IT department, shout out to you.
Yep. Hey, Terry.
I personally know many that started as apprenticeship and are still there 25 years later. That's a testament to a company, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I want to say too is that we are a changing company. We are a changing industry. We hear the word sustainability thrown around a lot, and that can hit a number of avenues. When you talk about renewable energy, when you talk about the technologies that are coming on, we very much are a company that has a commitment and a remit to provide secure and stable electricity for the country, notwithstanding that we understand that the industry is changing, and Belco is and will be a part of that narrative, and persons will start hearing more about us in our sustainability journey. But one thing I want to say is that sustainability also means people. People are our greatest asset and our greatest resource, and we don't see it as an expense; we see it as an investment. And because it's an investment, we have to have the right people with the right attitude that really want to achieve. And I hear about this Belko job for life concept. I believe in skills for life, and skill security, not job security. And that's something that we're very much trying to communicate to our company and our employees now. And these apprentices are very much stepping into an industry that is changing, and it's not going to be the same from when they begin to when they end, but we want to make sure that they are able to have longevity in terms of their skills and what they want to achieve. And that is our commitment to Bermuda and to Bermudians that want to join us.
And I want to add to that, because I so appreciate you saying that about job security. That means that as Mr. Wade said, evolving, and keep learning. And and updating your skills. There should be no such thing as job security. It's all about what you bring to the table, and you have to evolve. Monica Dunstan has a question: will apprentices be trained in renewable or more sustainable ways of creating/storing electricity, such as the plan for BESS?
The answer is yes, yes, yes. Belco actually has a battery energy storage system on site. The first of its kind in Bermuda was installed in 2019. That's an example of how we're stepping towards sustainability. We know that renewables are coming on. We have a remit to integrate renewables and to be in that space. But very much, and that's what I mean by when I say apprentices coming in today, are very much not going to have the experiences of necessarily of the Chris Famouses and others, but their experience is going to be at its foundation. It's still technical in nature. The source of the energy and the way it's provided is just the method, but the foundation is still the same. And persons will get availed and be availed even as part of this apprenticeship program to renewables, to battery energy storage technology and other areas which are very nuanced and new. And the training programs aren't completely developed in those arenas, and that's where Belco, we're taking our own look and developing our own elements of programs to be able to fill those gaps, because there are some nuances in the general world around technical education as it relates to renewables and at the apprenticeship level. At the engineering level, you can find those things, but you're talking about hard hands-on skills to be able to do these things. And I'm not necessarily talking about just installing solar panels, right? So we're very much committed to that, and we're going to make sure that our people are trained and developed.
One final question before we let you go. Nicole Walker's asking, can an applicant not living at home with parents afford to maintain living expenses, rent, food, etc. on the apprenticeship salary?
Yep, sure can. They're getting paid to learn. But I actually would tell people not to focus on the money initially, but to focus on the development. I think it's the whole idea out there is that, Belco, this is a job. Mr. Famous said it, this is a family, but more importantly, this is a career. And the career basically says that there's a step progression. And if you do what you got to do, then, the good things will come. But you have to put something in, you have to sacrifice, be willing to sacrifice something. And there's so many challenging conversations that I have with parents that are wanting to help their children apply and whatnot. That's great. But if the young person isn't engaged and has no skin in the game, they're going to have trouble being successful. And if they're just in it for the money, they're not going to be here for the longevity. And I'll be blunt and saying it, our vetting process this time around, I'm hoping we'll weed out those that are here just for the money. And want people that really want to grow, have the right attitude, have the capacity, but just people that young Bermudians that are hungry to learn and want to thrive and change their lives, because our apprenticeship program and really has the potential to change someone's life, and that's what we're about.
Hey, and that's a way to wrap it up. Nadir, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this information. And we're going to do our part to make sure that people have no excuses as to why they don't know about the apprenticeship opportunities at Belco. So thank you once again to everyone at Belco for trusting our platform to have this conversation. And if there's ever a time we need to get something out for you, you know where to find us.
Thank you for helping me, and you guys have a great day.
You too. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Call us and Georgia all the way. Go ahead.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hate us.
Great conversation, folks. Don't go anywhere. If you appreciated that conversation with Mr. Nadir Wade, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. A lot of information packed in such a short time, but make sure you give us those thumbs up on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, love, like, all of that good stuff. We're going to be back. Shara's got a good, bad, and the ugly for us. We have the daily play, and we also have a giveaway. Stick with us.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
All right, welcome back to the big show. It's the ladies and me. Thanks again to Nadir Wade for coming on, sharing that information. Like I said, if you appreciated it, if you found it important and worthy, make sure you share that conversation. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We are grateful to One Communications, Linda's Medical House, People's Pharmacy, and every last one of you. Continue to support us. Sherry, wrap up the week. What happened this week? Please let us know.
The GBU, the good, bad, and the ugly. So my good was that Wednesday was Plus Size Appreciation Day. And, you know, that was a time for you to appreciate the plus size woman like myself. So appreciate somebody in the comments. And I'm also starting a business with this population, so look out for that. Another good was it was very exciting seeing that the artist Adele is coming out with a new song. Her Body is Snatched. She got a new boo, and so we can only appreciate that. Of course, the bad is that still everyone is all of these people still dying because of COVID, and they're young, and get vaccinated. I'm not forcing you, I'm not mandating you, but I need it done. And then also, it's sad and it's ugly that a car went overboard at Steel. Like, that to me is just crazy. So yeah. And of course, Doomsday was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday when all platforms went down, right? That was an ugly moment for most. But for me, I enjoyed the time off.
Hey, look, that's a nice, good wrap up for the week. But I want to go back. Adele, yeah, she looked like she goes with LeBron James' agent or business partner.
Rich Paul.
Yes.
All right, girl, do your thing.
Yes. She went to the other side. Yes.
Welcome over. Actually, I first heard about Adele. Michaela was the first person to tell me years ago before she is mainstream. She must have texted me like, "Oh, you've heard of this artist?" This was probably when I was still at Hot 107.5. Kales was one to it, man. So the first time I heard of her. She's I like her. I have not a bad thing to say about it. And apparently she's bringing new music in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
next Friday.
All right, I look forward to it. All right, daily playtime, folks. If you get the answers before the year's latest, you win something. Don't forget, we'll be doing a giveaway right after this. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. They say they're ready. First question of the feud. This is weird. Name the worst thing about driving behind a bus.
Exhaust.
Slow.
She got it. That was weird. It were only three answers. Number one, exhaust fumes. Number two, can't see around it. And three, slow. Then he stopped. So, yeah.
There we go.
All righty.
Yeah.
Got that one time, folks. All right. They're not giving you a chance. You got to be fast. Name a household chore that is literally a 4-letter word.
Sweep? No. Clean?
Yeah, a household.
Clean?
Clean.
Wash? No, clean is not CLEA. Wash. Huh?
Wash is 2. Somebody got it. Laverne and Amanda Kelly gets a prize. Dust.
People dust.
Wash number 2.
People dust.
Cook
Okay.
number 3.
Yeah.
And number 4.
Cook. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Kelly, send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com. And the final one, folks. Final one.
Okay.
Can you all not curse?
It's so dramatic. Go ahead.
Don't cuss. All right. Name one word polite people use instead of cursing.
Crap.
Shocked. Polite people.
Fudge.
Fudge is number 4.
Oh.
Hack.
Jesus.
I'm shocked nobody's got this. Name one word polite people use instead of cursing.
Dang it. Dang it.
Rosalind,
Damn it. Darn. Who says darn?
Think about who. I didn't want to say who says it, but you know who says it. Darn is number one. Shoot is number two. Dang is number three. Fudge is number four. Sugar was number five.
I don't use any of these words, so I'm just like,
well, you see me, I'm like,
cuss. I just cuss. I don't use any of them.
Same.
Yeah. I was like, you couldn't ask me this because I'd probably say a
no. I'm like, okay.
Folks, it is the hashtag today is the Daily Hour. As we wrap it up, you can put the hashtag in the Daily Hour. That's gonna be today's giveaway. So just put hashtag the Daily Hour. All right. Kales, your final thoughts on today's episode?
I just think that people need to wrap their minds around the world is going in a direction, and the direction is vaccinated. So if you don't like it, then I don't know, maybe you should invest in Sir Richard Branson or Elon Musk's space thing. And I don't know, because like it's inevitable. It just is what it is. So yeah.
Jerry, your thoughts on the conversation?
I'm going to move it over to Belco. It was a great conversation about the apprenticeship. I hope everybody goes out and who is in that bracket, sign up for it. Women, hey, go do your thing. You know, it's out there. It's available. Young men, you know, there's a program there for you. So take advantage of it.
Yeah, I for both conversations, I definitely would agree that the way the world's moving, you may be last to get on the bus, and that's your choice. But you may be on an island alone, or with other people alone on that island. It's a squeeze. It's a squeeze happening, and so you have to make a decision that's in your best interest. If you can afford to go without work, then more props to you. As far as Belco, they got a lot of criticism, prices, and so on. But I am absolutely happy to see that opportunities like this are being created for Bermudians, and I hope that Bermudians take advantage of them. You know, if you can't create your own opportunities, then find those that are being created and find a way to be successful in that way. Let's do the giveaway, and then we're going to let Michaela send you off for the weekend daily inspiration. Let's see. All right, let's go. Who is it going to be? I'm sorry, it's only showing that amount. It's more of you. I'm sorry, I don't do it. It's technology. Don't blame me if you don't see your name. All right, who's it going to be? Drum roll, please. Oh, Takia. Congratulations. Congrats. Takia, please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com. You'll be ensured that someone responds to you to get you your prize. Kales, do you have any inspiration for us?
I do. This popped up on my Facebook memories from 12 years ago, and it's still so relevant. All right, ready? Yep. You cannot discover new oceans unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not going where
you can get on the boat.
I'm not going where I can't see land, folks. But for those who are courageous enough, all power to you. But I like that one. I do like that one. Folks, you got so far away from the land, you never know what the land you might see. Appreciate that one. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, and Lindo's, along with People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you next week. She's Michaela Ian, Sherry Vanderpool. Folks, I'm Jamel Hartman. Please make it a safe and great weekend. Please. Peace out.